Yo! Welcome. This is Touhou 12.8 Great Fairy Wars, or Fairy Wars for some people. This is the next game in the side game journey. I was gonna do ISC, but then I felt bad because, you know, you gotta go in order with these things. And actually, I did a few takes of this and I had a lot of fun, so I'm actually quite glad that we're doing this game next. As you can see right now, it features Cherno and not Reimu or Marissa. I mean, that's how these side games usually work. It's Zun's opportunity to expand on the lore of his side characters. So, a turf war has been declared by Cherno on the three mischievous fairies, which are the three mascots of the Visionary manga series. I haven't read that, although I probably should have read that. But yeah. It's not going to be a 6-stage game, but there's a lot of different routes in this game. There's route A, B, C. Each of them have 2 paths as well, so there's like A1, A2, etc. So there's 6 routes in total. I'm going to do it vanilla, and I'm just going to go from A, B, C. And then there's this, which is extra. I mean, it's not really a spoiler. It's pretty obvious what that is. But you can't unlock that until you do all of the routes. So that's what we be doing right now. So it's 3 stages on each route, by the way. So, let's get the elephant out of the room. Or let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. You can freeze bullets in this game. That's your gimmick. Because, you know, side games have gimmicks. Well, I mean, all games have gimmicks in Touhou, except for, like, USD. And, it's kind of like the photo games, where you have the little percentage charger around your character. The way to charge it is to shoot at enemies. The passage of time will naturally make the percentage go up, but also grazing, which is the fastest way to increase it, so you do want to do a lot of grazing. On hard mode and on lunatic mode, every enemy you kill on the stages will fire kunai at you. You might think that's a punishment for playing on higher difficulties, but actually it's soon being gracious and giving you opportunities to graze for freeze. And on lunatic, bosses and mid-bosses will fire aim jelly beans after their attacks, which is another big help. So, they're aimed at you, so just graze them for freeze. Unlike the photo games, where you need 100% charge in order to use your camera, you only need to go up to 30% in order to use your freeze, which is really, really nifty. Your power, your bombs, your lives, literally everything is tied to your freezing. You can't get power if you don't freeze. You can't get more lives or bombs if you don't freeze. Your lives are not really called your lives in this game, it's your motivation, because, you know, it's Cherno, so it's a meme that she'll run out of motivation if she gets hit too many times. It's the top percentage on the right, and it goes down by 100% every time you die. The bombs is your perfect freeze, which is the 3rd percentage on the right. Right now I have it at 180. That means I have 1 bomb, and I'm almost to my 2nd bomb, which would be at 200%. You can carry up to 3 perfect freezes, and every time you use a perfect freeze, you go down by 100%. The maximum amount of lives you can have is 1000% motivation. The power goes up to level 16, and when you get max, you'll know because you'll start firing omnidirectional shots. There was one more thing. Oh, you can see how many bombs you have also by the snowflake in the left side of the screen, bottom left corner, but obviously Cherno's blocking it, but you'll see it later. Be aware, though, that it is glitched, so that if you death bomb, the snowflake won't go away. So, it's actually not that reliable. Anyway, let's go ahead and fight Luna Child. She is the Stage 1A boss. It would be different, obviously, if you were playing the other 2 routes. She has the most annoying spells out of the 3, I find, honestly. I don't like these mons. The first one's alright, though, but the second one was a meme. This spell's pretty cool. It demonstrates how useful the ice area is, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I'm not going to fail that. I am not going to let myself fail that in an LP run. That's embarrassing. We're no bombing this, by the way, if you couldn't tell. We're gonna do traditional, Mino style and no bomb, which is pretty doable. I mean, I already did it for an earlier take that my microphone wasn't recording on, and it's actually really sad to me because I made a really hilarious faux pas, and I called this game a fan game on accident, and it was so hilarious that I had to stop the game and paused for like 2 minutes, and I just kept laughing on the recording, and I was like, dude, I can't wait to upload this. And then the footage got, there was no audio on the mic, so it was ruined. But I'm feeling better now. I was really upset for a while, and I was like, I don't even want to record this anymore. But, you know, I felt like doing it again. And I checked all my settings. Everything should be perfect. If it's not, I am going to be really upset. But I mean, you won't be watching this if it's not working, so it's working for all intents and purposes. Oh, what else was there to say about this game? There was something I wanted to say, but I forgot. Ah, whatever. It'll come to me. Oh, right! Actually, I remember. So, you might think that because your ice area is that percentage that appears every time you make a freeze in the middle of the screen. That was 19% there. You might think, oh, well that's based on how many bullets I freeze. Wrong. It's based on the surface area of the screen that your freeze covers. Because the freeze itself will go from bullet to bullet. It will, like, travel as long as there's bullets connecting with each other with the freeze. So what you want is to get big surface areas. If you, like, freeze a lot of bullets in one little area, it's not actually going to help you that much. So, that's just one thing to keep in mind. It's kind of interesting. Oh, and there's that snowflake in the left that I was talking about, because I have one bomb. I don't know if I'm going to no-bomb all routes. I'm just doing A1 because that's the route I play the most. So, we are going to no-bomb this one, but I might use bombs on the other ones simply because I don't know if I can win without them. So yeah, strap in for some great Fairy Wars. We're going to be seeing this game a lot. Well, we're going to at least have 7 episodes of this game, and then we're going to play ISC. But, if I actually decide to do it, I have a possible surprise side LP planned as well. And I don't think anyone can guess what it is, because it's really, I mean, it's kind of a weird idea, honestly. I can't do this non-save my life. You really have to freeze well on this non-spell in order to survive it, but I never really do the freezes right, so I always end up dying. By the way, on this spell, you can take advantage of the fact that these things are aimed at you to graze and get more freeze. Whenever a pattern is aimed at you, try to graze it because, again, you want that percentage in order to get more freezes. You could even milk this a lot for motivation. Get more lives. Also, her health bar glitched there. It still showed a bit of health in the bar, even though she died. Well, she didn't die, but you know what I mean. Also, Cherno's got a pretty fast movement speed. So, I can either do A1 or A2. We're going with A1, because again, I'm very vanilla. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go in the proper order. That's just how I do things. I'm a very orderly person. It's OCD, okay? Don't judge me. Oh, these fairies. You really need to go high on the screen in order to try to get them in your freeze. I did a horrible job there and I suffered the consequence. I will confess I'm very bad at this game. I'm really bad at this game. I hardly ever play this game, which is a shame because it's a good game. I just, you know, I don't really play Touhou that much outside of like LPs and stuff nowadays, and you know, the surprise fan game stream. I mean, I still really appreciate this game for what it's worth. Alright, time for Diose. Yeah, you saw Lily White in Stage 1. Diose is going to be in Stage 2. Although, it'll be different if you're playing a different route, of course. Remember that. Also, you might have noticed something. Fire has started to appear. Each stage will introduce a new gimmick. Stage 2's gimmick, which will be seen in Stage 3 as well, by the way. Don't think it's going away. But the fireballs themselves, they can't be hurt by ice because, well, I mean, they're fire. Of course they're not going to be affected by the ice. Such an idiot. This is all memo. I never really learned how to do it well. There's a little cute safe spot on here if you want to make use of it. But yeah, the fire can't be frozen. It's not as obnoxious as Stage 3's gimmick. As you can see, I'm just trying to graze in order to get more freeze. Alright, so who's our Stage 2 boss going to be? It's going to be Star Sapphire. It'd be Sunny Milk if you're playing A2. I don't have the English patch on, don't chastise me. So, the secret to Star Sapphire is to graze the rings so that you can freeze them before they actually hit the edge. Because for some reason they have QED mechanics. Yeah, it's really strange. I don't really know why Zoom likes the QED stuff. He did that on Raiko as well, I think. So, I don't really know how to handle this spell card, but, I mean, she goes left and right, so, I mean, just shoot at her and eventually she'll go down. Watch it out! Maribel actually has a really cool LNN run on his YouTube channel that you should watch if you want some advice on how to do this route. Also, Chumlum has done all of the routes on LNN, and, you know, there's also the LNN thread, of course. Again, honestly, this series is not really for advice, because I don't know how to play this game. This is just, fun in games, you know? To be honest, a lot of my LPs from here on out are going to be less informative and more just fun in games. I could have, I guess, tried to study this game, but to be honest, I like this more just because it's more fun. I mean, I know some stuff, but I know enough to get by. I can't believe I died to this spell. This one is literally free. She chooses a seed, you know, an RNG seed, and that determines, like, where the fire is going to go every time. You just kind of camp in the corner the whole time, and you should be safe. To be honest, what I should be doing is try to hit her with the ice. Ice does damage the bosses, by the way, if you couldn't tell. It's something you can use to your advantage. Well, that was a horrible stage 2. This game is pretty generous with the lives, though. You get a lot of them. Alright, I can't mess around in stage 3. Luckily, this is the last stage. This game is pretty short. Unless you're scoring, then it lasts a long time. I won't be scoring, so yeah. You want to make sure to kill these enemies quite quickly because if two of them are on screen at the same time, it gets really messy. And later on in the stage there will be a part where there's two on the screen at the same time because it's unavoidable. But yeah, I don't really freeze there, I just try to kill them as soon as possible. You should be milking your freezes really to get power because you'll want to hit max power on the final boss. I don't even think I'll get max power because my freezes have not been that optimal. But, I mean, that'll be fine. It will be fine. Just use your ice if you need to restream. And Sunny Milk. So Sunny Milk's non-spells are my favorite because they're the most simplistic. Also, Stage 3's gimmick! You know those, laser things that you just saw? Those will create little yellow pellets if they come across ice. So be careful of that. This spell has a strategy where you can like rotate around the screen, which I should have been doing. There's also just the dodging at the bottom strategy, but I don't like that one because it's really hard. So I should have tried to spin around, but I didn't really practice before doing these LP takes. I've just been dying to that every take I've done. Honestly, this part's quite fun because of all the fire. It's quite intense. But as long as you're using your freezes wisely, you should be okay. Alright, this part is a bit interesting. I never freeze on this part because I don't want to mess around with the kunais being aimed at me. Because the rings are so wide, it's actually not a part where you'd want to mess with those, I did my restreaming wrong. disappointing. At this part, just make sure you handle both sides of the screen effectively, or by swapping sides. Don't let these fairies get out of control. As I said, on this part they're going to be coming 2 fairies at once. There's nothing you can really do, but if you work hard and know what you're doing, you'll be okay. So there is something you can do. So the final boss, it's going to be all 3 of them. The fairy that you didn't fight yet will be the lead fairy, so the fight will change depending on, you know, which of them is the lead. The non-spells are all full of bullets, so you can get a lot of ice area on these nons, a lot of freezes. For the first spell, you want to try to take care of one of the sides of the screen. You want to kill one of the fairies to make it easier. I did a horrible job there. My performance is starting to really frustrate me, but I'm not going to vocalize it. Oh wait, I just did. Obviously, the lead fairy is going to be the one that's doing the most bullets. Sunny Milk's nons are pretty nice. They're really straightforward. Alright, so the second spell, you really want to make sure that when you do freeze, it's when the lasers are not happening. Oh. Although, I don't really know when that interval is, because again, I just never practiced this game. So I'm just guessing for the most part. This non here is going to be when they all combine their, they're going to combine everything they can do against you. Yeah. It's a thing. This spell is pretty straightforward. I'll probably die because this game hates me, but this is probably the easiest attack in the fight, honestly. Just freeze whenever the yellow stuff comes at you and you never have to dodge. And then we've got the solo non. This non likes to hide bullets from you, so you want to freeze often, because if you're not freezing often, chances are you're going to get jelly beaned. So use your ice as a shield as best you can. And stay calm. You don't need to panic. Alright, Fairy Overdrive. This spell will appear in all routes, and the route that the fairies take and how they act will depend on the route that you're playing. On the A1 route, I was trying to speed kill them, but I kind of failed there. I mean, I still killed it at a nice time, but it could have been better. Alright, so the final spell has an exploit where you can graze to get infinite freezes. Now, you can do this by going under the lead fairy, but I'm not very good at that, so I just go to the side and just handle one fairy. My goal is to kill Luna Child. If you see that it's gonna get crazy, just, yeah. It'll start to get crazy after a certain amount of time. The bullets will become fireballs and then you can't freeze them. If you learn your freeze timings right, you can prevent that from happening, but as long as you can kill one fairy, the spell becomes nothing. Like, you don't even have to freeze anymore, as shown here. As you can see, despite that Oscar-winning performance of this run, I still cleared. That was an awful run, but it's okay. I didn't expect much from myself. I was not gonna practice. I'm not gonna practice for any of the routes either, so what you see is what you get. I didn't need to save that replay, but you know what? I did anyway, because why not? But we can't play extra yet, because we have to go through every single other route. So in the next episode, we are going to be doing A2, and why did I just select it? My bad. See you guys next time!